Hey friends, welcome back to the Work From Homesteader. Today we are going to go through 3 of the Pomona Pectin's strawberry jam recipes. And these come straight out of the Pomona's recipe book, Wood Preserving with Pomona's Pectin. And there are tons of great recipes in here. And since we're just coming out of strawberry season, at least here in the Midwest, I have had the pleasure of trying 3 of them: the regular strawberry recipe, the strawberry and rhubarb with honey, and the strawberry balsamic one. And I'm going to be rating these both on ease of making them and on taste. And I think it's really important to have a good reference on some of these jams, because when you're spending all of the time and effort either on growing or if you spend money on purchasing strawberries, you definitely want to make sure that it is worth your investment. So let's get started. We're going to start off with the basic strawberry jam. Now I have some bread here that I made. I'm just going to put each of the jams or jellies right on a piece of bread so you can see what it looks like when it is spread out, which I think is really helpful with consistency purposes. What does it look like? We're going to talk about how it tastes and then again how easy it was to make. This is a close-up of what the strawberry jam looks like. You can notice that it does separate, and that's pretty standard with strawberry jams. You just have to stir it once you open it. I sealed all of mine with 4 jars. I absolutely love them. They are the most affordable lid that is high quality on the market. So we're gonna go ahead. I have one open here so that we're not wasting one. So we already have sealed. You can see it has just a really beautiful color in there. And I have mixed these up already. And this is what it looks like when it is spread. So really a beautiful color on there and a really nice consistency too. All right, so we're gonna give this a taste test. Now that my daughter has seen it, she wants some too. The strawberry flavor, undeniable. Super good, super strong, and not too sweet. What I love about Pomona Pectin is that most of the recipes are pretty low sugar. So especially if you are looking for something where it is a little bit healthier than what you can find in the store, or even some of the other canning recipes using other brands for their pectin, a lot of times you have to add a lot of sugar. What I love about this is it's just low sugar. You can really, really taste the fruit that you put in there. So from an ease perspective, this was like a 10 out of 10 easy. So I would say it is super beginner friendly. If you are new to canning, I would highly recommend giving this one a try. It is very straightforward. You just mash up the strawberries when you make it. You don't have to do any juice draining or anything like that. It's super friendly. And it also didn't require any kind of different crazy ingredients. It was just sugar, strawberries, and Pomona's Pectin. From a flavor perspective, like if I were just chasing this out of the blue, I would give it a 10 out of 10. Since I have tried the other 2, if I were comparing it against those, I would say it is in the 8 out of 10 range, because while it is really good, super strawberry flavor, I think compared to the other 2, and we'll talk about those, I think the other 2 went out just because they have just that added depth of flavor. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the strawberry balsamic. So this is what the strawberry balsamic looks like after it is canned. It is a very deep color. If you compare it to the regular strawberry, you can see how much deeper in color. It almost looks like a grape jam just based on the color. And that comes obviously from the balsamic vinegar that we put in there. And it is also a jelly, so it doesn't have any of the actual strawberry preserves in there. It is just the strawberry juice. So you can see the consistency here again. It is a jelly, not a jam. And this is what it looks like when it is spread on to the bread. So it definitely takes a little bit more effort to spread than more of the jam preserve. Now let's give it a taste test. All right, so let's give it a taste test. I'm honestly tasting notes that I didn't taste like a week ago when I made this. I almost feel like it kind of develops a better flavor over time. It's different. It's hard to exactly describe. And this is one of the ones that I hesitated on making because it is a little bit harder on the difficulty scale. I would say out of the three, it is probably the most difficult, or maybe not difficult, but definitely the most time consuming because it is a jelly. You have to strain the strawberry juice for a couple of hours to get the amount that you need. Plus, then you have all of these strawberry scraps you have to figure out what to do with so they don't waste them later. However, I do think there is a payoff because the flavor is very good. I would give it a 9 out of 10, especially when I'm comparing it to the other two. And this kind of might be a spoiler alert of how I feel about the strawberry rhubarb jam. However, it is really good and the texture is nice, especially if you are more of a jelly person than a jam, if you don't like those fruit bits in there. But it really has a nice flavor, and I honestly think it would be really good with crackers, maybe over the holidays, or some kind of more of a specialty jam. It would go great with peanut butter and jelly, don't get me wrong, but I feel like you might lose that depth of flavor with something as simple as a sandwich. So I highly recommend it as almost like a cheese spread type of jelly than just like your regular peanut butter and jelly jam. Okay, so this is the strawberry rhubarb. You can see it very similarly. It does separate a little bit like the other jam, which is totally normal. I'm going to go ahead and give it a stir. This is the only one I don't actually have open yet. And one of the things that I did notice that over time it does seem to discolor a little bit. Just note that over time it might kind of turn a little bit discolored because of the rhubarb. All right, let's get that strawberry rhubarb. To me, it spreads a little bit nicer than the strawberry jam. And honestly, this has been really great on oatmeal as well. All right, so let's give it a taste test. Yeah, going into this, I already knew this was my favorite one, but this has definitely solidified it because I'm just tasting them all right next to each other. And it just has this like super awesome sweet but tart taste to it. It has a super great depth of flavor, and the honey sweetness just really helps kind of add just a touch of sweetness, but not in an overwhelming way. And it definitely doesn't feel like some of that, like, you know, it doesn't feel like it's cane sugar in there. It definitely has like that added honey flavor. So from an ease perspective, I would say this is medium easy. It definitely has more components because you have the rhubarb in there, but I don't think it was all that much more complicated than a traditional jam. You just have to do a few more steps in there. And then obviously flavor, 10 out of 10, absolutely my favorite one. So if you're looking for a solid, really kind of just healthy minded and low sugar type of pectin to make your jams this summer, I highly recommend picking up Pomona Pectin's cookbook. I have found a plethora of good recipes in there, and if you're gonna make some strawberry jam, I have to recommend the strawberry rhubarb jam. If you have availability of rhubarb, it is honestly the best jam that I have had, and it was definitely one of our favorites this summer. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and drop them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you gave it a like, and if you subscribed and stuck around. I put out different homesteading, cooking, and motherhood videos every week. Until later, I'll see you guys soon.